let's pivot over to our main focus point on the day. And it's about how to file your taxes for free. And there are actually a lot of avenues to do this. We're coming up on tax season. I know, you feel like we just started the year, but April 15th will come up quickly. You only have 2.5 months until that date. And so, it depends on who you are and how much money you make, but let's go over some ways that you can file taxes. Now, the first is, if you make under $84,000 per year, there's something called IRS Free File that's now up and moving. Now, this is best for individuals that aren't itemizing their deduction. They don't own a business. You don't require extensive adjustments. You have a job. You're probably renting. Simple, usually for young people that don't have very complex lives. Okay, so that's one way to go about it. There's also free software as well from HR Block, TurboTax, TaxSlay, TaxAct, etc. And this is typically, those are just filing your typical 1040s. You maybe have an earned income credit, child tax credit, those type of things. Some of them can do student loan interest deduction, certain types of dividends and savings account earnings and retirement income. But once again, it's only for if your situation is fairly straightforward and simple. Once again, you're not itemizing. You're just taking the standard deduction and adding a few other adjustments from there. Then there's what's called the VITA, which is Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. And this is a federal grant program. Once again, though, for people that have low income. Under $67,000 is that to be your income, or if you have a disability, or if you have limited English speaker and you need tax filing assistance where they can't, they don't have the language skills to get through it. That's one way to go about it. Then there's what's called the tax counseling for the elderly. This is an offshoot of VITA. It's called Tax Counseling for the Elderly, TCE. And it's for typically those that are 60 or older, but for low and moderate income filers, if you're over 50, you can qualify to use their services. So these are volunteer organizations run by the government. And then there's called Mil Tax. I don't know if you know this, but if you are in the military, this is Department of Defense free tax software offered in partnership with Military OneSource. And it's for all active military and allows for help with things like multi-state filings, housing and rental concerns, deployment situations, combat wages, etc. So I think it's a great service to our military. So make sure you check that out if you qualify. And lastly, there's something called Direct File as well, which is offered by 25 states. So half the states in the country, from Alaska, Arizona, California, Connecticut, Florida, Idaho, Illinois, Kansas, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, Oregon, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Washington, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Those are the 25 that allow you to potentially file for free as well. So those are some great ways. But I always say this though: if you have a more complex situation, you own a business, if you own a home, multiple homes, you have rental properties, you are itemizing in any ways, right? You have big health care costs, etc. A good CPA is worth it for most people. A lot of people will balk at it. I don't want to spend $500 when I can, file for free, or just, pay TurboTax, a nominal fee. But most of the time, if your situation is a bit complex, a good CPA can find ways to save you more than you're going to pay them. And, I encourage people to find a good tax professional. If you need one, I'm always a resource, whether you're a client or just a listener. It doesn't matter. You can reach out to me and I can help you out. We're not CPAs, not what we do, but certainly have some good ones we work with. So I wanted to highlight that because I know nobody wants to do it, but you have to think about filing your taxes for 2024 pretty soon.